But going with steak. Little by little. Look up the camera. That incorporated. And this isn't hot just yet. Give it time, it'll probably burn me pretty well. But right now, nothing. This. We're going with a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. I don't need much right now. Let's bump the camera again. I apologize. I can move my hand this way actually. There we go. I love chili. Probably one of my favorite things to make, just because it's so easy. You know, you can do it in a crock pot, you can do it in pressure cooker, or on a stove top. I prefer stove top, personally. Getting kind of cooked in there. And next, do a sausage, which I just have regular Jimmy Dean hot sausage. And this will probably be the only spicy thing I put in here. Now, ideally, what I should have done, honestly, is cook my sausage and steak first. Cook my meat products first. Get that broken up. Cook my meat products first. Use the juices from, or take them out. Left the juices in the pan, pot. Then add my garlic and onions. And then from there, added everything together. But honestly, in my opinion, it's pretty hard to screw up chili. Like I said, it's a set it and forget it sort of food. I like to do a mixture of sausage and steak. So that way you have that crumbliness of the sausage, you have a nice chunk of steak. Actually, I think I'm missing an ingredient. Nope. I am in fact not missing an ingredient. Now, optionally, you can take out the juice in there, like all the drippings from the sausage and the steak. Personally, I like to leave it in. Just give it a little bit more flavor. cooked up. Sausage at least. The steak is gonna cook through no matter what. Ideally, I would have used flat iron for my steak, just so it stays kind of tender. But I can only sit here and hope that this steak will stay somewhat tender. Oops. Get that back in there. But it is really hard to screw up chili. Only way you can really screw it up is if you burn it. And I know there's tons of, I've already mentioned this, there's tons of people who say, oh, don't put chili in, or don't put beans in chili, it doesn't belong there. It belongs there, alright? Get over yourselves, it belongs there. Some red wine vinegar. Cook that for a few seconds. And what I'm actually going to do next, which I've never done, is I'm going to add my spices into this. Usually I would add everything and then put my spices in. We're not going to do that. I just want a little bit of that stuff to cook off. Now for the fun part. Where is that? I think that's all we need. So, first things first, what we're going to go in with, paprika. About that much. I'm not going to measure anything. Next up, chili powder. I actually want a decent amount of that. It's chili. Next up, cumin. And my actual recipe has measurements for all of this. And last but not least, a little bit of garlic powder. Just to really bring home the garlicness. Like I said, my recipe has measurements for all this stuff. But really, just eyeball it. Taste as you go. That's one thing that I've learned from Andy Cooks on YouTube. You need to taste as you go. Like, that goes for anybody. Just taste as you freaking go. I'm gonna add a little bit more of everything. Like a lot of paprika. It's alright. Like, I'm probably going to add more of this stuff as I go along, once I get everything else in. Make a nice mess right there. Whoopsies. In fact, I'm going to get a tasting spoon right now for this. That is very good. Add the salt. No more pepper. I don't want to go too crazy with pepper. A little more taste. That's very hot. Alright. Now that's all done, we're going to go in with everything else. Which I'm realizing I need a can opener. Alright, first things first, corn. I like corn in my chili. I'm a big believer of corn. Corn is fantastic. Next up, diced tomatoes, which I'm realizing are diced and not petite. It's alright. It'll be fine. I was trying to squish them up a little bit. Trying to cut them up with a spoon, which was impossible. I want it petite just for the fact that it can be... I don't like big chunks of tomato. Just like the onions, I don't like big chunks of it. But, you know what? Whatever. When I was at the store, I was hell-bent on trying to find fire roasted, but I couldn't find those for some reason. Yeah, that's not coming out. That's good. I was about to grab the spoon I tasted with. But we're going to do some tomato paste. Now the original recipe that I found, that I'm adapting from, says to put in ketchup. Don't use ketchup in your chili. Mix that around a bit. Little tomatoes can't get to know each other. It's already looking really good. Next, I'm just going to go in with tomato sauce. Just give it more tomato flavor. Again, mix, mix, mix. That's already looking really good, I'll be honest. And then red beans. I don't drain my beans. Should I? Probably, but whatever. They're fine. Light red beans. Kidney beans. And last one, dark red kidney beans. Like honestly, the red beans I probably could have omitted. But again, I like beans. They belong in chili. I don't care what anybody says. Now what I could do, I'm gonna look something up real quick. Okay. I'm actually not going to do what I was going to originally do. Well, maybe I will do it. Yeah, there's basically my chili. Like, that's 90% done right there, but I'm going to let it sit for a couple hours. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. We're gonna do it. I've never done this before. But what I have here in my hand is beef bouillon. Bouillon? Bouillon? I don't know how to pronounce it. We're going to add a couple of these. If I taste it real quick. I just want to make sure the flavors are decent. Oh yeah. I think, oh yeah, I was going to add something else too. I forgot about that. But I've never used these before. I don't know if they work. But we're going to start with one. See where that gets us. As my laundry is done. I already lost the cube. Oh, there it is. I hope that thing dissolves. My original plan was to put some broth in here, but I've already kind of filled the pot enough. That seems to be working, I think. Okay, I'm trying to find a cube. Probably not going to find it, honestly. But I'm going to add another one to really amp up the beefy flavor in here. We'll add like a sausage bouillon cube. Or pork bouillon, I should say. Yeah. And we're just going to let all these flavors get to know each other for a long time. But that should dissolve in the heat of this. Some beans right there. Got the bouillon cubes. Now hopefully that thing will... Hopefully both those things dissolve and won't be grainy. Like I said, I've never used those things. If your chili ever starts to get too thick, you know, add some water or broth to it. Not gonna hurt. I think mine's pretty good for the most part. There's part of the cube, I think, right there. Yeah, that's part of a cube. I just want to keep it stirring, stirring, so it mixes it in. And I'm also going to add I'm going to add 3 bay leaves. Just to give it a little bit more flavor. And later on I'll pick those out when it gets time to serving. I just need to remember that there's 3 in there. Take one quick taste of this. Add a little bit of salt. I'll probably add more as I go along. This is pretty much where I'm going to stop this. 1 cubes. I think the next part is to just let it sit. I'm going to add also a little bit more cumin. A little bit more garlic powder. Now all we're going to do, we're going to let this simmer. I'm going to check on it every now and then, stir it, make sure it's not burning at the bottom. And next time I start the recording, I will be ready to make some cornbread. And I'll give an update on the chili. Hopefully you guys are enjoying so far. I'll see you in a second. If I can hit the button. So, got Now we're going to do cornbread. So we've got cornmeal, flour, baking powder, sugar, salt, all in one bowl. Just going to mix that all together. There's all the cornmeal. Just get that all nice and incorporated. It looks yellowish. We're going to do milk, 1 cup, oil, 1/3 of a cup, and 1 egg, which alright, mix this all together. Chili is looking great right now. It'll probably, it's already ready. It's been ready for a while. But you can't have chili without cornbread, or bread in general, I don't think. I think that's good. Oh, it's pretty incorporated. Pan. Like I said before, I was going to do this in a cast iron, but unfortunately, I don't have my cast irons, and I don't know where the cast iron is here. I think it's out with all the camping stuff. So we're just going to do this in a regular pan. I also don't have my bowl scraper. That is at work. Trying to get all this out as much as I can. If you hear anything crazy in the background, it's probably the dogs. They're very antsy and ready to eat dinner. There's something else. Oh, there it is. So one thing I've learned from work, don't know, I work at a bakery. Take some extra cornmeal. Just dust it on top. It really doesn't do much, but it looks nice. Honestly, what I should have done was add cornmeal to the bottom of this. But now this is going to go in the oven for at 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. It might take a little bit more than that. I don't know. We'll see. But when we come back, it'll be time to have a nice little meal. Here we have it, final product, homemade chili and homemade cornbread. Get a little bit extra on the chili. I threw some cheese on top, sour cream, bacon bits. We're just gonna dive right into it. Do it without sour cream first. Chili, obviously delicious. Get a piece of cornbread. That's not bad. I think they should have used a little bit more sugar and probably a little bit more salt. But honestly, still really good. Get a little bit of everything. all together. Excellent. Can't go wrong with chili. Ever. So, thank you very much for watching. Oh, actually, I wanted to go over this first. You can do anything with chili, you know? Make it vegetarian. Leave out the beans. Make it vegan. Eat it for breakfast. I've done it before. You throw a nice runny egg on top. Perfect. Beautiful. But, yes, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you want to try. What you want me to try next. I'm open to suggestions. I'm willing to try just about anything. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And until next time, see ya.